What a week. What a week it's been. We've been busy. I'm still down here at the BFFs. Still happy to be here. There is a food adventure that is imminent. Um, a The husband of one of my BFF's friends is hugely into cooking all sorts of non-Midwestern foods, and he found out that I'd been to Korea, that I love Korean food, and he said that he was cooking Korean this week and wanted to know if I would be receptive of a little care package, and I absolutely was. So he sent that over today, and it was amazing. He made kalbi and rice and sent along kimchi, and it was incredible. It was so incredible, and I just could not be happier. Well, so I sent him a text of appreciation, and he asked me if I would be um, interested in doing more cooking before I leave, and I leave on Sunday. So it looks like tomorrow we're going to get together and we're going to cook some curry, and we're going to cook some Korean food, and it's all going to be amazing, and I'm super excited for it. I've only had curry a couple of times, and there are so many different kinds of curries that it's really difficult to say, do you like curry? Do you not like curry? If you haven't had an opportunity to sample more than one. So that's going to be happening. But I also say that as kind of a warning that this is not going to be a long live. Because I have to actually be awake during the daytime, which I'm not good at. I think y'all know that. And we're also going to be getting together with a couple of friends. One I've known since junior high. The other one, of course, being my BFF. And the third one being one that I met through my BFF after she moved down here. So that's going to be, that little get together is going to be happening right after the cooking adventure. The food adventure is going to be happening. So I'm exhausted, and I remain exhausted, but I know I have to get some sleep tonight because tomorrow's going to be a cooking day, and it's also going to be a food adventure day and a hanging out with friends, one of whom in particular I haven't seen in far too long, and I miss her terribly. And it's just going to be a bunch of us bitches getting together and hanging out and being ourselves and just kind of being with each other and doing the thing. And it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. But whether or not I make it on tomorrow, I cannot say. Sunday, I'll be heading home back to Hoth, and I will very likely be on Sunday night, but I cannot say for certain whether or not I'm going to be on tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's going to be probably a little crazy after a very long day, and I doubt that I'm going to get an opportunity to nap. Oh, and I have the hiccups. That's fun. Ugh, annoying. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. Miss Sunrise Dawn is here. She got him out. Jen is here. Good to see you, Jen. Hef is here. Hello, my love. Kimberly Gavaldon is here. Ooh, a food adventure. I know, it's exciting, right? Especially when you live with people who sometimes find the mayonnaise a little bit spicy. You know, up here in the Midwest, it's a lot of white people being as white as they can possibly be. And, you know, anything different from what they've known, which is basic meat and potatoes, can be gourmet. And that's seen as a bad thing. Yeah. So it's fun to have food adventures with people who also feel adventurous about food. Um, and I dig it. So this is going to be exciting. And it's not like he's trying to get my pants. He's already married. He's very happily married and has been for some time. But he's just polygustatory. He's looking for people to enjoy foods that aren't necessarily Midwestern fare. They're not hot dish. They're not whatever the fuck we eat here. Sounds great. Yep. Love curry. Hef says, couldn't tell you what kind though. That's fair. I love curry. My latest fave is veggie pineapple curry. Sounds like a fun reunion. It is going to be good. It's going to be good, and it's going to be healing. Good morning. Good morning to you, Brian Lucas. Hello, Cookie Monster, aka CO Bilf. Good to see you. A dose of rose. Hello. Yay, I made it. Good to see you all. You're up late. Dirty stay up. I do love some dirty stay ups. Hi to the whole gang. Thank you very much, Kimberly. I also had a food adventure today. It was not good. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it was a negative food adventure. That stinks. Best curry I ever had was made by a dude I knew from Bangladesh. Okay. He dumbed it down for us, and it still cleaned the sinuses out. He'd laugh at us because we couldn't handle what he made for himself. Yeah, it's funny because there's one Indian restaurant in Hoth where I live, and if you specify that you're looking for, there's spicy, there's medium, there's mild, and then there's white people. They don't put that on the menu, but if you tell them that you want it white people mild, they'll do that. And I don't feel like that's being racist. I feel like that's being legit. You know, I was talking to somebody before, yesterday or the day before, where I let them know that ketchup is on the table, every table at the Chinese restaurants in the place where I live. That tells you about how white the area is. Like, people don't even know from real Chinese food, real Asian food of any kind. So, yeah. My food adventures was using a fork to dip my Oreos. That's a smart way to do it. That is a smart way to do it, because then you don't have to worry about getting your fingers all mushed into the mushy Oreo, and you can still get the whole mushy Oreo right in your mouth as like the second that you pull it out, because that filling is not going to disintegrate the same way that the cookie does. That's some smart shit. I'm also a person who will use chopsticks to eat Cheetos, so it doesn't get all over my fingers. I don't have to deal with basement dweller orange fingertips. Yeah. Omnivores, beware of Beyond Meat. That is all. Okay. Duly noted. Duly noted. I do like the occasional Impossible Whopper, not going to lie, but Beyond Meat, I will remain wary. May go for round 2. Girl, get you an Oreo for me. I can't have them bitches right now. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Sunday. More likely tomorrow. Let's see. What else is going on? I just got done watching Reese's chat from Tuesday. Is this Costco or is it Hooters feed? And I gotta tell you, I laughed so freaking hard when she was talking about Jeff, not only with the French onion boobs in the checkout, but also Jeff with the bourbon syrup sample. That was some funny shit, and I sent her probably 2 different emails talking about it because, number 1, I feel like I need to add the title Costco Trollop to my resume. I need to figure out how to do that. Um, but holy shit, that was funny, and my best friend works in a grocery store. Granted, she's a pastry chef, so she's behind the lines most of the time, but I showed it to her as well, and she was noting the way that people behave with their carts, and she was definitely triggered by that, for sure. I like hot mustard, but can only dip one tiny corner. That's fair. That's fair. I like that Chinese hot mustard too. I mix it with a little bit of honey, and then that's what I use for the hot mustard when the local McShit near me decides that they're not gonna carry hot mustard anymore for my chicken McDedlets. I use that. So ooh, I finally made a late nighter. Welcome, welcome, Amy Lee SP. It's good to see you. I'm glad you finally made it. Welcome. Lost 12 pounds, about to put it back on. Get it, girl. $22 for a container of bourbon maple syrup. Yeah, I know, right? Seriously. I watched that live and was laughing so hard I was crying. I was a hot mess down here in the basement. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous, but I was losing my mind. And I'm trying to knit at the same time and count stitches, and that didn't work out real well, but somehow I managed to make it through. It was rough. It was rough. I love hot mustard, especially with the nuggies. Yeah, yeah, the beaks and cheeks, the rooster rocks in a box. I gotta tell you, I was kinda surprised. Kentucky Fried Chicken isn't good for much, but their new nuggets are really freaking good. I didn't expect it. And, like, I can't go to Chick-fil-A ever since I learned that they were hate chicken. So and I used to love I don't give a shit about their sandwiches, but I used to love their nuggets. Now I know that I can go to KFC and get their nuggets, and they're just as good, and they're not deep fried in hate. So it works out. I laughed hard and out loud at that live too. Okay, good. I'm really glad I'm not the only one because I was losing my entire mind when I was watching that shit tonight. And like, I know that I'm behind on my watch later list. I'm anywhere from like 2 to 4 days behind. Every time I hit my home screen, I'm like, add to watch later, add to watch later. And there's so much shit that I gotta catch up on. And I try to catch things live when I'm awake, but man, that live. And what I loved about it was that it wasn't about the real heavy shit that we're dealing with. It was just way too funny. Way too funny. And I loved it. Nope, already gone. I'm not sure what you mean, honey, but okay. Yeah, one of the reasons Reese is growing is because she can be funny as hell. She's ridiculous. That woman is ridiculously funny, and I understand why she doesn't wanna do stand-up, probably for the same reason that I don't. Um, I don't I don't know that I loathe myself enough to do stand-up. Also, I can't be bothered to, oh, that was to Kimberly, a dose of rose? Okay, right on. Um, but yeah, I don't feel like I loathe myself enough to do stand-up, and yet my mom's been telling me to do stand-up for about a million years, and I'm just not there. I'm just not there. Um, I don't have a tight 5. I riff off of interaction with people. So, sitting down and actually writing material where I can stand up and be on a stage and not riff off of interaction is really kind of a challenge to me. So, that's difficult, and I get it, and I hear it in Reese too, but I think that once the 2 of us get together, we're probably gonna both have to strap on some adult diapers because we are gonna be peeing copiously. Reese is very witty and quick on her feet. This is a fact. This is a fact. Maybe on the cruise with our group doing comedy, anything's possible. I think she'd be great on a lecture tour. She's perfect for it. Yeah. Yeah, she is. But how perfect? Because would she be able to really tighten it up to a certain number of minutes? I don't know. I feel like you just kinda pull the string and let her go. Um, or pull the pin and let her go, depending on whether or not it's a bitch grenade kinda day. Um, I get it. I get it, but I think if we have the opportunity to sit and talk to one another, we're probably gonna be wetting our pants. So, I feel like that's something that we both just need to prepare for, you know? I'll be hitting the bathroom before I go and hang out with Reese. Hopefully, she will too, and then we can just crack each other up and just riff on whatever the other one is saying. Because, goddamn, she's funny. Holy shit. Like, I was losing it down here, and I finally had to summon my best friend, and I'm like, "Girl, I got some shit you need to see." So, yeah, yeah. I also introduced the best friend to Mona today. Um, she didn't know about Mona, but I was telling her filling her in a little bit more on the Elvira fan club that exists here, and then I told her that one of the people who's part of that fan club is a trainer, um, a person with, uh, her own service dog and a person who runs, a grooming shop. And I showed her photos of Mona and video of Mona and everything else, and she immediately fell in love with Mona as well, so it was great. Y'all, I showed Scott the short that Maya made of him sneezing, and he scared himself. I was dying laughing and had to immediately message Cricket. This is a true thing. I did get the message, and I was lolling about it because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, good. He finally heard, well, the sneeze heard around the world is the start of a revolution." Yeah, I mean, Scott's sneeze scares the crap out of people, and we don't even have to be in the same state. We don't even have to be in the same hemisphere. It's frightening. That man scares the crap out of me when he sneezes. And I'm really glad that he was able to see it the same way that we were able to see it. And bless Maya, senseless that she was able to clip that and create a short. And she put it up on her channel, and good for her. Because, man, that guy's sneeze is absolutely terrifying. I love me some Elvira. I know I do too. She's such a good girl. She is the best girl. Well, I mean, next to Mona. I think they run neck and neck for best girl. Um, she's certainly the best girl for my best friend, and Mona is the best girl for Jen. So we all have our best girls, and yeah, they're such good kids, and I love them. I love them to death. So yeah, Elvira's being a little needy tonight, little barky, a little roo roo this evening, but you know, we did our best and she got all the scritchies and she got some extra peanut butter and we didn't have any frozen green beans in the house, but I just gave her minties so that she can have fresh breath when she's all up in my best friend's face at whatever o'clock in the morning. For sure. Neck and neck. Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree. They're all good girls. They're all good dogs. I love them. Even Patrick Perry's dog. I feel like we need to get a hashtag going, Justice for Cha Cha. I've heard that that's her name. I don't know whether or not that's the case. I don't even know whether or not that's actually his dog, or whether it's whether the dog belongs to the person to which he handed the leash. But I would like justice for Cha Cha. I want her to be in a home where she is beloved and where she's not being exploited and used in such a way. That's, maybe that's just me. But out of all the people in that scenario that I feel worst for, it's the dog. She didn't ask for any of this. She's a good girl. She's a very good girl. And I don't think that, and I really appreciate that a lot of people have taken the stance where they're more concerned for the dog and where they don't feel like the dog is at fault. They're faulting the people, because that's always the case. That's always the case. There are no bad dogs. There are bad humans who train the dog to do things that maybe the dog shouldn't do, but she doesn't know that. The dogs don't know that. They're doing what they're taught. They're doing what they're trained. And I think that she just wants love and structure the same way any dog does, and shelter and food. She's a good girl. And I love her. And I think the hashtag Justice for Cha Cha movement needs to happen as well. I think she needs to not be with her people anymore. She needs to have new people who will love her and who won't use her as a weapon of targeted attack. People who will treat her as a cherished member of the family, not as a furry little grenade to go off. She deserves better than that. And she deserves better than those people. So that's what I have to say about that. Or as Kelly Copter says, and that's how I feel about that. Yeah, she's a good girl. She should have good people. Right now, she doesn't. She has assholes. And I don't care what their stated excuse is. It's a lot of nonsense, and we all know it. So, with that, please allow me to remind you to take your night meds. Night meds. Take your night meds. It's a modern pharmacology. Yep, 100% Amy Lee. She's doing what she's been awarded for doing. She was quite adorable when her handler wasn't freaking out. This is a true thing. Yep, I saw it. I saw her rolling on the ground. I saw that tail wagging. She was trying to be the best girl that she could possibly be. And when people are being shitheads, she's doing what she needs to do to get by. Bless her. She's a sweet girl, and she deserves better people. Ciao. Hey, Paul. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Because of people like that, a lot of people would give my Roddy mix a wide berth. When they saw him, in reality, he was a big teddy bear that loved everybody. Of course they are. Rottweilers with their big cinder block heads. They're some of the best babysitters ever. You want to see an animal who's going to be super protective of the small humans? Rotties are amazing for that. Speaking of, my gummies are kicking in and interwebs are spotty. I may drift away soon. Honey, rest well. Sleep sweet. I'm glad you made it here. It's good to see you. I say hi to you when I see you in other chats, but it's really good to have you here. So thank you. Drift away, sleep sweet, and rest well. And on that med, since Paul is telling us night meds are weed, and also since I don't have gummies, Xenu Marlene, y'all. Hit up whatever it is that helps you sleep at night, or that makes you feel comfortable, or that makes you feel sated. Is that a potato chip? Is it a slice of fudge? Especially if you're doing gummies, a little bit of extra fat will help kick that gummy in a hot second. Not that I would know anything about that from personal experience. But yeah, get it. Indulge. That's why we're here. Read Good Dog Carl, my favorite kids book. All right, Anne, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. That sounds great. Good to see y'all. Good to see you, honey. Thank you so much for popping in. Sleep well, and everyone else? Yep, eventually. I'll sleep. I'll sleep. I just know that I have to get up. I have to set an alarm, and I have to get up so that I can be functional and have a food adventure, which I love. I love food adventures. The trainer side of me is cautiously optimistic for the dog if rehomed. The dog lover in me says, give me that baby so I can love her. Right? 100%. Yeah, I can't have a dog in my current situation, but I think that she would be significantly happier in a better home with better people. When Savannah was a baby, we worried about Comet accidentally hurting her because he didn't know his own strength. Surprisingly, he seemed to know she was a baby and was super gentle. Yeah, they can figure out when the creatures around them are small and going to be getting bigger. But when they're small, they're puppies. They're loud, bald puppies, but they're puppies or kittens. They're babies. They get it. They understand. They understand what infants are, even if they look different from them. It's got 4 legs and not enough hair, but okay. Small, ugly puppy, ugly, bald puppy. It's okay. We'll take care of you. And they do. A curry food adventure. Can't beat that. Agreed. Agreed. And this dude is Japanese. Well, he was raised in Hawaii, but born of 2 Japanese parents. And he cooks Korean food, and he makes his own sushi, and he does all sorts of amazing stuff. So I'm here for it. And he wants my help. He's like, if you're comfortable in the kitchen, I would love to have your help. Fuck yeah, I'm comfortable in the kitchen. I am here for it. I am about it. So this is actually really exciting for me. He also, when I was at my friend's at the fundraiser for her family's medical bills, he because I am riddled with anxiety. and especially social anxiety. I'm not good with crowds. I have to put on a mask. I have to I have to fake it, and I have to just take my few moments where I can get them, where I have a moment to decompress and have a little bit of solitude, and then I have to go back out and face it all. And he was amazing being my stone in the zen stream of everything. He was just so calm and so accepting, and I've met him before, but we haven't really had an opportunity to really talk, um, and we had a good conversation that night, and shit, man, I can be friends with this guy because he doesn't want anything from me. He's got his own wife, he's got a family, he's happy, but he can cook like a mofo, and he's seeking other people who will appreciate the things that he cooks. Because here's the other thing, you can't cook this kind of stuff for one. And there's a long list of things that his wife won't eat. And he does most of the cooking for the family. So every once in a while, when he gets a Mad Jones to make some galbi or whatever, he is kind of stuck with all the leftovers because you can't make that in small portions. Likewise for curry. Um, so he wants to share that with people. And and I love that because food is one of my love languages. I find it very difficult to cook for one. So I cook in job lots. And whether it's Sunday gravy, otherwise known as a red sauce, or a marinade, or a meat sauce, or whatever you want to call it. I make that in a massive vat of things. You can't create a lasagna for one. It's impossible. Um, there's so much cooking that I do that you just can't do for one person. And I love sharing it with people. I love baking for people. I love serving dinner. I love that, and I get that he's the same way, and I also get that a lot of the things that sometimes he feels like cooking, he's not gonna be able to share with his household family, and he wants to share it with the rest with other people, and he seems so happy to find somebody who's conversant in other foods of the world that he's just like, "Oh my god, this is amazing. When are you leaving? We have to seize upon a time." So I guess that's happening tomorrow, and, I have to set an alarm, and I'm good. I'm good with that. I love the whole idea of it. If I had a reason to wake up, food adventure would be that. Oh my god, my dream man. I know, right? This guy's no joke. And Japanese food? Oh, man. Yeah, absolutely. Howdy, y'all. Hello, Maya. We just talked about the short that you made of Scott's sneeze heard around the world, and how he even scared himself when he watched it. So that was pretty amazing. Good to see you. Hope things are well in your area of the Arctic Circle. But yeah, so tomorrow's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And if I don't sleep the entire day, if I only sleep part of the day and get up and do things, that's fine. That's absolutely fine because it's totally worth setting an alarm for. It's totally worth getting my sorry ass up off the couch for. And, getting dressed and putting on sunblock and running errands and getting ingredients. He's going to show me all sorts of cool shit. It's going to be fun. And I love that. Like, I'm not saying that my best friend isn't fun. But part of the reason I'm down here is to be support for her while she's working and doing 100 other things and juggling and keeping the plate spinning. Um, I'm here to occasionally empty the dog. I'm here to occasionally feed the dog. I'm here to play with the dog. I'm here to make sure that, the house doesn't fall over. If she wants some help with some home projects, I'm here to help with that. Like whatever she needs, that's why I'm here. I'm not here to be entertained. We've known each other too long for that. I'm just here to help. But she was saying earlier tonight, sorry, we actually haven't really had an opportunity to, talk to each other since I got here. And yeah, I get that. But it's also okay because I understand. And the fact that this adventure is going to be taking place while she's at work totally works. It works. I make sure to empty the dog before I leave, and I'll empty the dog when we get back, and there will be food, and the food will be ready pretty much right around the time she gets home from work. So it's kind of going to be perfect. It all works out. Good evening, everybody. I think I'm going back to bed. Good night, Brian. Good night. Rest well. Sleep sweet. Have you some good dreams if you can. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll probably see you in one of the lives if I manage to make it to any of the lives. I hope I do. But I'm also going to be having kind of girl reunion sort of shit going on. So who knows? But I'll take photos of the food. I absolutely will, because food is important. We need it to stay alive. And at some point over the weekend, I am going to have a special guest. I know I've been teasing it. I am going to have a special guest, but I spoke with that special guest today, and they were busy earlier in the day, and we're kind of wiped out. So we're planning for the weekend. I'm going to try to plan it for Sunday night. I think I'm going to send a message to that special guest and try to plan it for Sunday night so that I know that I'll be well rested. I won't be half in the bag. I won't be exhausted from running around all day, and I'll have an opportunity to just kind of chill out, sleep on the shuttle bus home, and be able to conduct a conversation like a coherent human being. It's been really low numbers tonight, I've noticed. The most I've seen in here is 10. Right now I'm only seeing 8. I think it's because it's Saturday night. Is it Saturday night or is it Friday night? No, it's Friday night. It's Friday night. Other people have lives and leave the house. I don't do that. Yeah, I'm really good at not going out, doing things, being social. I kind of suck at all of that. I can do it when I have to. I can do it when I need to, but I'm not real good at it. Hi, Artsy Tartsy. Good to see you. Yeah, I can do it when it's necessary, but unless it's necessary, I'm kind of bad at it. I left 3 days in a row this past week. That's a record for me. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a life either. Same girl. Same. Oh, good. Now we're back up to 10. That's nice. And you guys, I'm up to 295 subs. I'm almost at 300. That's bonkers for me. Holy crap. In a basket. I say, just in case Barbara is listening or catches it on the replay. She loves it when I say that. She's decided that that's her new phrase. Holy crap in a basket. But bless her precious heart, she has been messaging me, she's been texting me. Um, Other people have been really helpful, offering their help. Once we have things a little bit more planned for the cruise, once I have some idea as to how many people are going, they're coming up with ideas. They're they're doing all kinds of stuff, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, I'm keeping the list of people who want to help. Once we get a little bit closer to time, or once we're actually on the ship, I'm keeping it's a short list, but I'm keeping that list handy so that I know who I can call on and say, "Hey, can you help me set up some tables, or can you scamper around to these cabins to drop off some goodies, or can you this or can you that?" And I know that I've got some people who have my back, which is pretty cool. Um, I'm probably gonna run around like the proverbial beheaded chicken for a lot of the cruise, just to take care of things that need to be taken care of. But I also know that I got myself into it. I basically asked for this. So I knew it was gonna be a shit show from the jump. And it kinda has been, not gonna lie. Um, it can be somewhat frustrating when I see a person in a chat going, "Wait, what? This is a thing? There's a cruise? How do I get the details?" And then I respond to them, and then 2 seconds later, they go, "Yeah, but I'm just trying to get the details. Where do I get those?" And I respond to them, and other people respond to them, and then they say the same thing in a super chat, and I'm like, "Bro, I mean, I'm glad you're giving super chats. That's awesome, but I'm trying to respond to you. I'm trying to tell you how to get the information. It's not my fault that you're not paying attention, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best." Um, and some of you have been right in there with me and have been helping out and asking for mods and giving those mods a little bit of guidance. Hey, somebody's looking for the link for information for the cruise. Can you give them the link? And bless them, the mods are paying attention, and I love it. It's great. And I love that all of you are in there and you have my back and you know where to direct people, because I can't be 100 places at once. I mean, hell knows I'm trying, but I can't be 100 places at once. Sometimes I have to sleep, and there are only so many chats that I can keep an eye on at the same time. So, I really appreciate all of the help that I've gotten from people trying to get the word out about where to go for information, where to go to book. If they want to talk about roommates, there's a group for that on the book face, and let me know, because then I can add you into the group and you can talk to people about roommates and the whole nine. It's been it's been really cool, and I love seeing the community come together over something like this, because we really are gonna have a stupid good time, and we're gonna have an even better time knowing that we all came together, and all the people who chose not to, who chose to go their own way, they might be on the same ship, but they ain't in the same boat, and they're certainly not invited to the cocktail party. So, you know, we're just, we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can with people. I'm home most of the time too, and it annoys me that other people have a problem with it. I mean, seriously. I get you. I ducked out for a second to check out the sneeze video. It's worth that rolling laughing face right there. It sure is. Fucking annoying. Girl. I'm sure you can depend on all of us regulars in this chat. I'm sure I can. I have 0 doubts about that. I will zoom around on my scooter on that ship. I bet you will. You have the patience of a saint about this cruise. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, Anne, when I'm not on camera, I have my moments where I pop off. But I get it out of my system. And when I'm actually replying to people and talking to people on the phone, I'm able to maintain my patience and my calm because I take those moments to go off in private and pop off. But I think we all kind of need to do that, don't we? Hello, Marie and Young. Oh, a little late. That's all right, Marla. We don't mind. I'm not watching the clock. Question: can I invite a friend who is not familiar with COS, SPs, or any of the creators? If you think they're going to have a good time and they want to come along, absolutely. You certainly can. We can talk more about it tomorrow. That's fine. That's fine, a dose of rose. Yeah, absolutely. If you feel like they want to come along and that they would enjoy the sailing or anything else, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to be in a club. You just have to want to be on the ship. You just have to want to go on an adventure. And whether you're open to meeting new people or whether you want to hang out in your cabin the whole time, that's fine. If they want to come along, they can come along. Send them my way. I'd be happy to book them. Has anyone seen Laura tonight? Is she all right? I know she went live earlier. Did something happen? I didn't watch. I watched Liz Ferris. I'm going to a reptile event tomorrow. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Where there will be 25 kids. That's a lot of kids. A little nervous, but it will be fun. Because reptiles. Reptiles are awesome. We love them. These questioners are turning into a weird Ferris Bueller meme. Anyone? Anyone? Class? There was one person that I saw in a chat last week, and it was hilarious because literally within 5 seconds of her putting her question in to the chat, I was answering, and I was tagging her in the chat. And she never responded to me and just kept asking the same question, and it was mind-numbing that I'm like, "Bro, do you not see that I'm tagging you? Does your little name not come up in the chat highlighted? I know I'm doing it correctly. Are you just trolling? What's going on?" So, yeah. She may not make her decision right away. I told her by March 2nd. Yep. Confirmed roommate is down for it. Of course she is. Of course she is. I talked to her last night on the phone. She was attacked outside a Scientology building by an old man. Some old man got in her face. Did she call Popo? Nope. Lara was attacked? He smacked her camera and got in her face. That's fucked up. Ahoy! I'm a sailor. Look at me. See, I don't wanna be one of those folks. Yeah, and you're not. You send me emails, you speak directly to me. Now we're on Facebook and we're connected there. This is a person who is literally saying the same thing over and over, and all it is, but where do I get information? But where do I get information? I'm just looking for the deets. Where do I get the information? The one last week was doing the same thing, only their question was, yeah, but where is it going? So where is the cruise going? I'd love to go, but I need to know where it's going. Where is it going? Seriously, the answer was put into the chat like 15 times, and only 10 of those were from me. Maybe 7. An old man assaulted Laura on her live stream earlier. She handled it very well and wasn't hurt, but it was scary. 2 other streamers showed up and helped her. Nice. Glad she wasn't hurt. No, she didn't call the cops. Hadn't heard about Laura. She probably got it on camera. I bet your ass she did. And if she didn't, some of the other people got it on camera. One of the TikTokers went after the guy and screamed at him a lot. Good. Good. You don't behave like that when you're a grown-ass adult. Glad she wasn't hurt, for sure. Laura's a badass, though. She's a Hollywood bitch. She's no joke. Artsy, she said he was already upset and probably going through something. And see, that's giving a lot of grace. Good for her. It was live. God damn. Well, mad props to her, because she's a badass. She's absolutely a badass. You guys, Reese called me a badass on her stream with Marilyn the other day. And I just about shit a brick. That's amazing. Just saying. Not to make it all about me. Just saying. That was incredible. Laura told the TikTok guy to leave him be. Okay. Again, Grace. I think she accidentally caught him arguing with someone and was PO'd. Okay, sure. That would make sense. Well, bless her senseless. Good for her. See you, Marlene. To Lara, you guys. Good for her. Sometimes it takes so much to have that kind of patience. I know I don't always have that kind of patience, but God knows I try. Cricket needs fries on Sunday. Hit those links. Marley, you're the best. Thank you so much. Yep, I've got links below. In the description box, I have links to the Venmo that Denver Stevo made me get. And I did send him a message, by the way. I still haven't heard back from him, but I saw that he was online today. So maybe he's chosen not to get back to me for whatever reasons he has. But I did see that he was online today, or somebody else was in his Facebook account. So I'm going to assume that it was him and that he was making his choices as to whom to answer. And I may have fallen way down on the priority list because there were a whole shit pile of other people who were messaging him. So it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, he made me get a Venmo. That's down there in the description box. So's my PayPal. And I do have a Zelle if you wanna reach me, and hit things by Zelle. Drop an email right here to chahyunsmut@gmail.com, and, I'll let you know how to Zelle me. Thank you in advance, and thank you so much, Marla. I appreciate that. Yay, Reese, and she wasn't lying. Thank you so much, Kimberly. I, of course, I wanna think that I'm a badass. I don't know that anybody else ever sees it, so I'm really glad that she does. That made me feel really good, and that Marilyn agreed with her, like, immediately also made me feel really good. So, not gonna lie, that was amazing. And yeah, please don't forget to do the YouTubey things, as Lori Plays says. Hit the like or the dislike, whichever you choose, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. If you wanna know when my random ass is going online, you can, hit that little bell and select all, and the bell will tell you when I go online. Because I never know when I'm going online until about 2 minutes before I go live. So, that's how that works. Xenu Marlene. Fuck yeah. To Lara. Cheers, Lara. Y'all have a good night. Sleep seems to be winning over here. Good night, all. Good night, Miss A Dose of Rose. I will speak with you tomorrow. Does anyone else think that guy looked like a character from Beavis and Butthead? Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it, aren't I? God damn it. She really goes through a lot out there on those streets. She's been going through a lot since she was a tiny child. Oh, you definitely put out the badass, amazing vibes. Thank you so much. I love that. That makes me happy. My hair is badass. Okay. All right. I'll take that too. But I mean, when you decide to get yours cut, or if you decide to leave it long, your hair is pretty badass too, bro. Not gonna lie. I saw both photos. I saw the short hair and the long hair. And I think if you let the long hair out and just kind of floof it a little bit, it's got enough body that you could rock some pretty hot photos there, sir. So, I ain't saying. I'm just saying. Good night to all who are headed off to slumber. Love it. Oh, yes, I think it's his nose. All right, I'm definitely gonna have to check this out then. Your voice is badass. Thank you. Um, I was talking to somebody last night, and she was so funny because she said, "You know, your professional voice is so cute, and I can just see you sitting straight up and taking your notes and writing things down. I can see it just because I hear your voice and you're doing your because she was giving me information about the cruise. So we had to talk, and she's like, "I hear your professional voice, and you're adorable with your professional voice. I can just see it." It was so cute. It was amazing. I love it. Right, the pointy one and that evil smirk. Okay. If you wanna see it, Cricket Nora has a link to the exact part of the vid when it happened. Boom. Thanks, Marie. I appreciate that because I will check that out. I'll check out No No. I'm sorry, Oh No. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out because I need to see it now. Now that I know that there's been a Beavis and Butthead reference, I'm gonna have to check it out. And Hef be just laughing. I love it. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. That's amazing. I love it. I just said that. Um, but yeah, it's been a hell of a week this week. I barely even know what to do with myself. And it's funny because I've spent so much of the time sleeping that I really feel like I'm paying off sleep debt. I feel like I'm catching up. I wish that we could store extra sleep as like a sleep surplus to make up for some of the sleep debt that we incur, but we can't do that. All we can have is sleep debt, which fucks me up and it makes me mad. Because if we could have some sleep surplus, I would have been banking some hours. And I can't. That makes me mad. But there's been so much going on every single day. And if it's not happening out in LA at the protests, then it's happening in my own Facebook inbox, or it's happening in my email, and it's happening with my BFF and then dog. And I'm just trying to keep tabs on everybody and make sure everybody's okay, do what I can to help. And unfortunately, in a lot of situations, there isn't a whole lot that I can do to help. And feeling powerless, as I think many of you know, is absolutely the worst. I hate not being able to just swoop in and fix things. I love to be the person behind the scenes who's just making things happen smoothly. That's what I dig. Being in the spotlight like this isn't my jam. But I started on this journey because I knew that other people needed it. And I've continued on this journey for a number of different reasons. Some of them are selfish and some of them are not. But I enjoy hanging out with y'all. I enjoy chatting with y'all. I love that people show up, and I love that this is a place where people can show up in the middle of the night when there's fuck all else going on. Nobody's live streaming. If mods want to come in here after a long day at work doing they thing, I'm happy to have them. I'm happy to have the insomniacs. I'm happy to have the drunks after bar rush. It's Denny's. We're the Denny's of YouTube. Where I grew up, we didn't have a Denny's. We had Perkins. And now we don't even have any Perkins that are 24 hours, which fucking blows. There are no 24-hour restaurants where I live anymore. What the shit is that? It's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to me. But here we are. So I want people to know that they have a place to go where they can chat and they can be happy and they can be themselves. And yeah, that. I ran out of words. I do that sometimes. But yeah, I hope that Hef is able to find some resolution soon. I know what it's like to be dealing with things that are just a giant fucking question mark holding out above your head. And you feel like if it drops, it's going to just slice your head off. Where I grew up, it was Waffle House. The awful waffle. I've seen some fascinating things in a Waffle House. I've never been to Huddle House, which is like the bastard sister of Waffle House, I think. But I have seen some things in an awful waffle. for sure. Waiting is the worst. Fact. We had Perkins. Where you grow up? I grew up in northern Minnesota, the frozen planet of Hoth. And so there was Perkins in Minnesota, in Wisconsin. I don't know where the fuck else they had them. I saw one in Jersey, and I know they have a bunch of them in Florida. And that's all I know. But yeah, Perkins was this spot in the middle of the night. They were all over the Minneapolis area. So when we got bored, we would take the 2.5-hour road trip south to go to the Twin Cities and hit up the Perkins there. And we'd call a bunch of people and be like, hey, in about 3 hours, this is where we gonna be. This particular Perkins, the one on what, 494 or I-94 and France Avenue? Something 94 in France Ave. That was the Perkins. We would meet people there and they would just show up because that was the late 80s, early 90s. You're so right. All the 24-hour restaurants close. It sucks. I know, right? And you're in Jersey, Marie. What happened to a 24-hour diner? What the fuck? I worked at Waffle House for a while. Definitely some interesting characters. Yeah, no shitting. We had diners in IHOP that were open 24/7. Now, IHOP, I can kind of give a shit less about, even though we don't have one of those there. But diners, how can you call yourself a diner if you're not open 24 hours? I need to be able to walk into a diner at 3 o'clock in the morning, trashed out of my mind, and look at the menu the size of a Bible and decide whether I want pancakes or linguine with clams or both and be able to get them. That's what diner is. And the fact that they're closing at night is just such bullshit. Like, I know from diner. I lived in Jersey. Paul, you're in Ohio? Okay, they mostly gone now there? Mm-hmm. Yep. Girl, I know. Yep. And you could hang all night, drink coffee, and have an amazing muffin. A muffin the size of your head, I might add. Diner closest to me now closes at 9 p.m. Like, what the fuck? I mean, how do you even call yourself a diner with a straight face? I don't get it. I don't get it. I need to be able to get disco fries or a full Italian dinner or some soup or a lovely salad or pancakes, a full breakfast with eggs. Yes, Anne, it is. I could open one and clean up. Yeah, probably. If I had the capital to even start something like that. Is the PayPal go away? Yes, that is me because the name of my business is Go Away. That's what I do. I'm a travel agent. I'm a travel advisor. I make people go away for a living. Even the 24-hour supermarkets and Walgreens are closed at midnight now. That's some bullshit. At least where I live, we do have a 24-hour grocery store, 24-hour grocery store, and we do have a couple of 24-hour Walgreenses. It's just that the pharmacy isn't open 24 hours. They're open like until I can't remember if they're open to 11 PM. I don't know. I don't remember. But at least the main part of the Walgreens is mostly open. We don't have any places where you can just sit and eat a food and drink some coffee and BS with the rest of your fucked up friends. The Chow Down Diner. Nice. Man, we used to have a place called Louis Cafe where you could get a chocolate chip pancake that covered the entire plate. It was massive. You put a little butter on that thing. So good. So delicious. Like beside myself with the deliciousness at how good it was. You have a 24-hour Walgreens and a Walmart. Okay. Fair. I mean, Walgreens can be fun in the middle of the night. This is a true thing. I try to stay away from Walmart all the time as it is, but, sometimes you just need some shit in the middle of the night, and it's a lot easier to go there at 3 in the morning than it is to go there in the middle of the day. At least in the middle of the night, there's no people there. It's the same reason that I love going to the grocery store in the middle of the night. Marla, you are not wrong. Good idea, Paul, because Cricket Diner or Bug's Place might have some issues. The health inspectors would be in there like every 20 minutes. My grandpa owned a lot of restaurants when I was growing up. Oh, nice. When I need to spend some money in the middle of the night, I head to Walgreens. Walgreens is no joke, man. It's much like going to Target. You got to have an agenda. The top hat was one. Oh, very nice. Classy. I love shopping at Walmart at 3 or 4 AM. I miss it. Yeah, but you're not allowed to drive at night anymore, lady. I used to love going to Walgreens in the supermarket late at night. Yep, samesies. When I lived in New York, it was the best. It was the best. When I lived in the city, I'd like wander around to either find an all-night bodega or find an all-night Walgreens and just wander and see where my mood took me. It was awesome. For sure. I love middle of the night stuff. I love middle of the night shopping. I love middle of the night dining, and it makes me sad because, like, when I was growing up, there were all kinds of places that were open all night. There was Perkins, like 3 different locations of Perkins in my town where you could go. There was a place in the next town over called Louis Cafe that was the best, and I know I just talked about it with their massive chocolate chip pancake. But they also had, like, massive plates of hash browns and friggin' everything incredible, and I miss it, and everything started closing at, like, 10 or 11, or maybe they'd stay open until 3 on Friday and Saturday nights, and that's it. I don't get it. All 3 pharmacies close at 5. Only grocery store closes at 11. All restaurants close by 10 to 11 at the latest. No Walmart or Target. I know, because 'cause you're, like, in the middle of straight up BFE in Nevada, and oh, I know it. I know it. What about a food truck diner? Late night crazy thoughts. You know? I hear you. I hear you, Paul. When I was pregnant with Savannah and couldn't sleep or had middle of the night cravings, I headed to Walmart, was on a first name basis with the entire late night crew. Nice. You're saying the top hat was so not classy. Oh, but what a great name. Wait, was it a topless bar? Because that would have been even funnier if it was called the Top Hat, but it was actually a topless bar. That would be hilarious. Middle of the night is my time of day. Same. Samesies. Faux show. All right, guys. I got to get up kind of early, so I should probably wrap things up. We've been going a little bit over an hour, about an hour 15. And I'm so happy that everyone came to hang out with me this evening. Tomorrow is still kind of touch and go. Should have a special guest for Sunday. I'm still messing with my bangs. Like, I'm trying to shut the stream down, and I still gotta fuck with my bangs apparently, because I don't know where they're gonna take the thumbnail from, and it's gonna be some blurry bullshit, but whatever. Pup is a badass too. You damn right she is. Sweet dreams, everyone. If it's your nighttime, that's fair. We used to have a burger joint 50 style diner here called Chow Time. Tornado took it out in 2011, and the elder sisters that only didn't rebuild. I miss it. Low overhead with a food truck. True, but a lot of headaches. A lot of headaches. Just so you know, you are all clean. We've been showering. Maya. You're my favorite dirty stay up because you take us all in the shower with you. Now I smell all fresh and clean. Thank you. Thanks, Cricket. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. I hope that you sleep sweet. I hope that you rest well. Like and subscribe if you would be so kind. All sorts of other fun stuff in the description box down below. Be well. Be safe. Sleep sweet. Peace to you.